at the start of Event 79, Women's Open Grand Final, Carley Copley Cup. We have an alignment. This is an open category to all comers. Lane 1, USC. We have a start. Lane 1, USC. Lane 2, UCLA. Lane 3, UC Irvine Alum. Lane 4, UC Santa Barbara. Lane 5, Villanova. And lane 6, UC San Diego State Alumni. All boats are clear. The 100-meter breakage point. And your early leader in lane 2 is UCLA, half a seat over USC, looking outside to Villanova. And back into UCI Alum and Santa Barbara, and then UC San Diego Alum. This is an open category event. Most of these crews here are collegiate or near post-collegiate by a couple years. At the 250-meter mark, it was outside Villanova, maintaining a deck. Well, it's actually, I'll call at this point, Villanova, UCLA, and USC dead level, followed by UC Irvine Alum, Santa Barbara, and San Diego State. All boats settle into base pace, about 35 strokes a minute. Approaching 500 meters to go. First bow ball there is UCLA and UCLA and USC dead level, 2 seats up on Villanova. These 3 crews enjoy slight open water over UC Irvine Alum, which maintains bow to stern over UC Santa Barbara and San Diego State. UCLA at 35 strokes a minute is half a seat up on USC and Villanova. UCLA made a push at the 600-meter mark. It's being answered again now by USC. USC's rowing back into them. UCLA still maintaining their 1-seat advantage. UCLA and USC are 4 seats up on Villanova. At the 750-meter mark, first to cross is UCLA, 1 seat over USC, then outside lane 5, Villanova. We do have open water back to UCI Alum, then UC Santa Barbara, and San Diego State University. That's your call for the 750-meter mark.
A Women's Open Grand Final, event number 79 today at San Diego Crew Classic. Is spread over yesterday and today. Lane assignments, USC is in lane number 1 and they are challenging for the lead. Our leader, however, currently in lane number 2 is UCLA. Checking out lane number 3, that's where you'll find UC Irvine. And then in lane 4, UC Santa Barbara. Villanova is in lane number 5, and an alumni crew from San Diego State University is in lane number 6.
When we come to the Women's Open 8, the university crews in this event, sometimes they're the 3rd varsity, sometimes they're the 2nd varsity. My guess is that we're looking at the USC 3rd varsity, the UCLA 3rd varsity, the UCI alumni crew, the UC Santa Barbara JV, because sometimes the smaller programs will enter their JV in the Open 8 rather than in the JV 8 event. And Villanova in lane 5, also either a 2nd varsity or a 3rd varsity.
Continuing on the lead is UCLA. They are in lane number 2, but they're certainly being shadowed almost every stroke by USC in lane number 1. Then we have some open water back to lane 5. That's Villanova out there. And then the trailing crews would be UC Irvine, UC Santa Barbara, and San Diego State University on the far outside and trailing.
So the two crews that have really separated themselves away from the rest are USC and UCLA. This will be their third varsities. The only crew that's really throwing out any sort of challenge to them is the crew from Villanova, which again I think would probably be a second varsity boat. And there's real separation between those three and the other crews in the event. The other crews being the UCI Alumni, the UC Santa Barbara JV, and the San Diego State Alumni over in lane 6.
Well, crosstown rivals are at it again. UCLA in lane number 1 and USC in lane 2. UCLA appears to have almost gotten some open water there over their Trojan rivals. All the way on the outside, it is Villanova, and then we'll look at UC Irvine, UC Santa Barbara, and San Diego State University as they pull through the 1,500 meter mark with 500 to go. This is UCLA continuing on a lead that they have had since about the 500 meter mark. USC in lane number 1. Villanova gamely coming along on the outside. They did pick up the pace just a bit, but it didn't respond with any kind of closure to catch up with USC in the first place, and UCLA in the second position. UCLA on the lead. USC along the shoreline. That's Villanova out farther in the water. Then comes UC Irvine, UC Cal, and San Diego State University. This is the Women's Open Grand Final, and apparently in hand is UCLA. Unless something drastic occurs, they will be our winner for race number 79, the Women's Grand Open Final. UCLA on the lead. They have some open water back to USC. Open water to Villanova. Then looking at our trailing crews, this is Irvine, University of California, Irvine, followed by Santa Barbara, and the trailing crew will be San Diego State University. Back to our finish line, it is UCLA, the unofficial yet apparent winner. USC along the shoreline, never able to close that gap after it got to that position after about 500 meters to 750 meters. Then on the outside, it is Villanova, and still on the race course, yet to finish. However, the apparent order of finish will be University of California, Irvine, UC Santa Barbara, and San Diego State University. The Women's Open Grand Final winner, University of California at Los Angeles, UCLA, USC second, and Villanova third.
Just as the UCI alumni crew comes across the line, you may have noticed something looking a little odd about it. That was because it had an Italian or spaghetti rig to it, with the rower at number 7 and the rower at number 6 both rowing on the same side. In the present economic climate, as with everybody else, athletic departments are under the financial hammer. Some of them are having to make some really hard decisions. Beginning of last fall, UC Irvine's men's and women's crews were told that they would no longer be able to continue with varsity status. As I referred to earlier, the University of California at Davis